Welcome to the Style and Vibes podcast with me, Michaela. I'll be giving you the inside scoop on music, fashion, culture, and more from Caribbean celebrities and tastemakers across the globe, pushing our culture with authenticity and, of course, style and vibes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Style and Vibes podcast with yours truly, Michaela. If you are new here, welcome to the family. As I like to say, if you are returning, welcome back, family. Today, we have a very special guest. We have White Yardie in the building.
Yo, wagwan.
So right now, White Yardie, you're on tour in the US, but I really want to kind of have the people really get to know a little bit more about you. So I know that you're based in the UK, but you're definitely a Jamaican comedian. So
Yeah,
talk to me
yeah.
about that. Like when did you get to the UK? What was your upbringing like, and when did you tell me about like how you grew up?
Alright, so grew up in St. Elizabeth, Black River, country boy, And yeah, we just grew up like normal Jamaican children, live life, do it, go play outside, play, climb tree, pick fruits, you know what I mean? We used to go fishing, swim a river, no, just typical things, what we do as Jamaican children. So I grew up in Jamaica, but left Jamaica when I was 18 to move to England. Just to try something different in life. You get to an age. I'm from, as I said, I'm from Black River, and anybody who know Black River knows like them classes as a ghost town, because once you're there in the town and you see a 6, 7 o'clock star reach, and you alone and the ghost them there. Nobody else not there. You get me? Empty. So what did happen is enough of my friends them when we left school, enough of them move. Some gone to Mobile, some gone to Kingston, gone live, some gone to America, some gone to Canada, some even come to England. So me I say, yo, I can't just left here by myself. I want to do something too. So yeah, make a decision and tell my father, say, yo, I want to forward go to England where you're there, And him say, all right, cool. Because my father used to go back and forth to England and Jamaica quite a lot. So I said, all right. And that was it. Just came over at the age of 18 and yeah.
So what was the biggest culture shock for you at that age?
You me tell people all the while them think I joke, but me not really know about racism until I come to England. Because in Jamaica we don't really know racism. Yes, there is a thing such as colorism that does exist in Jamaica, where based on your skin color you do get preferences and things like that. But when me tell people that it wasn't the case to me, some people don't believe me, but some people say I lie. Me I tell them this. But you have to remember, I grew in country. I never grew in Kingston and uptown. That's the difference. You know what I mean? I feel like when you grow uptown and places like that, you get a bit more, people who have preferences to you or give you more privileges, should I say. Where me grow up country, everybody treat me same, because when me there country, St. Elizabeth, if anybody knows St. Elizabeth, you know everybody down there red. So we look the same. You know what I mean? So I never really had none of that. But when I come to England, I realize racism because I see it with my own eyes that people are treated differently based on their skin color or their race and things like that. I mean, so that was crazy for me to see that for the first time. But then I don't want to go drastic and say yo food was a big thing, because it wasn't. Because when we come to England, they're around Jamaicans. Jamaican food shop there everywhere. Jamaican restaurants there everywhere. So you can have access to your own food, if that makes sense as well. So it was more the weather. I think the weather was the biggest shock for me, because cold, different. The body have to adjust to the cold.
That cold hit you different than the St. Elizabeth
Oh
cold.
my God, yo, them cold are different. Me say on them cold hold you and beat you, man. Them cold hold you step out of your house and feel like, yeah, can step out the road, you see sun a shine. Me tell you something, man. You see foreign sun are not like the Jamaican sun. Them have some different sun of foreign. Them sun ya is a light bulb up your sun. You see a light bulb them turn on at daytime for a win. This not give no heat. No heat no come out of them sun ya. I don't know, and sun this, I daughter this I know sun.
You're gonna make me laugh. Oh my god. You're gonna make me laugh and forget my questions. But have you always been a comedian? Like, what was that transition for you? Like, how did you get into comedy?
Accident. I've never been a comedian. Like enough people will know me to will tell you say yo comedian you no me I know that the one there. But them accident. Me just one day I do some videos and I download an app called Keek. You used to have an app called Keek back in the day. Um, Probably about 11 years ago. I download the app and it was 36-second videos that you can do. So I dep on the app and I start do some videos. I talk about certain things. Me I cuss about certain things and me I bring back memories. Like me I say, yo, you remember when your mother used to say this and yo, you remember when your mother used to tell you to do something? Hey, you remember when your mother used to give you a bag of things to do? Or you remember on a Sunday like when you're asleep and your mother start playing music, you know, at time come out of the bed and go tidy up the house. So me used to do a lot of those type of videos, you know, a lot of Jamaican parents videos me used to do when I first start. And it was just the stereotypes of what we go through and grew up living and seeing. So them get them like at the time it created a lot of attention. People like, yo, this guy funny because the way me express myself, things me say, words me I use. So they was like, yo, you try to stand up, you know, because you're funny. So I tried it and yeah, 10 years ago me start do it and 10 years on still in the game, still working.
So, what is the biggest difference for you creating videos for social media versus being on stage in front of a live audience?
The difference is you have to separate both of them. And I feel like the blessing that I have had is that I started both of them at the same time. So literally was doing videos for like I would say about 3-4 months before I actually did my first stand up. So when I did my first stand up, it was still new to me doing videos. So I was doing both. And that helped me to separate that yo, the video them are one thing, live a different thing because when you're up on stage, it's not about yo, all right, I'm gonna do this, press stop, record, edit, no, cut that out. All right, let me try again. No, you only have one chance on stage. For your video them, you can edit them over and over again. You can edit, you can add things to your video to enhance it. On stage it's just you and the people, you know what I mean? So that's the difference is learning how to separate them and understanding that what you do in a video is not the same as on a stage. And I know many people, because that's the thing, I know there's many influencers, social media creators that create content for years and years, and now they want to do stand up, but they struggle because they're going on stage and feel like them can just do what them doing on them video up on the stage. You know, work like that is there's a format to it, there's a pattern to telling jokes, there's structure behind how you put together material and and how you deliver material. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a big difference.
Did you learn a lot of that just through experience or just by watching others on stage in terms of having that stage presence and growing that over time?
A lot of it was learned through experience of being on stage and different element, different shows, different places, learning how different audiences are. So you learn this over time of going along because one thing you know is like when you get a laugh, like when you tell a joke and somebody laugh, or when you say something and nobody's there, you don't know where the laugh. You expect a laugh to come at some point, but you don't actually know where the laugh is gonna come. So when you start telling it to a live audience, sometimes the laugh might even come sooner than you expected because something you said prior was actually very funny, and you add expressions to it as well. It enhances. So you have to learn how to take your pauses. That's something that I learned. How when you hear people laughing, you have to stop and make them laugh and appreciate your laughter that you're getting because they're laughing at something you do. So when you're done, when them done and them are just about to finish done the laugh, you hit them again with something again and catch them again. Like yeah, like so you learn this off experience, but also take on advice from people before you is very key because you new to the game, and if people are in the industry that's been doing it a long time give you advice, whether you agree with the advice or not, it's still good to take it on and listen to it because they've been in the game longer than you. They must know what they are talking about, regardless if you feel like they're further than them because your career might be growing faster, but there's certain experience that they have been through in this game that they can shed light on and say, yo, for example, when we just start, when we just start, there was a comedian that said to me, say, yo, slow down your patois a little bit because you have to understand not everybody, especially when you live in England and you have the shows in England, not everybody have a catch on to the patois quick because even though some people have parents from there or grandparents, they don't speak it fluent. So certain things you say, you have to learn how to slow it down. You have to learn how to give them in little pieces for them understand because you want your comedy to be translated to everybody. So that's something somebody told me early on in my career. From then, I learn. Every time I do a show, I learn. Say, yo, I now just be ignorant and feel like, yo, everybody must understand what me I say. That's not the case. So yeah.
I love that because you're gonna reach a wider audience, and even especially if you're a diaspora kid, second, third generation, you come to kind of be engrossed in the culture, so you don't want to leave them out necessarily.
Exactly.
And there's a connective tissue there through entertainment, comedy, food that I think can help grow the platform. So tell me about going on tour. I know, or let me take it back through COVID, how did that impact a lot of the videos and how you grew in your career during that time? Did it amplify it or did it make it more challenging for you?
During COVID time, the tricky, definitely tricky because you need motivation sometimes, you know what I mean? And when we're stuck inside 24/7, just in the house, it's kind of difficult to really get motivated to say, yo, need to do a video, need to do that. Don't get me wrong, I did come up with creative ways over time, you know, like I was throughout the lockdown, I was doing a morning show. So every morning, no, tell a lie, not every morning, probably like 3 Mondays throughout the week. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I would do a morning show where I would do lives with people on the Instagram. They would come live, we would have games. I then went on and did a couples games. So I started to do a couples game night where we'd have couples come on and I set them challenges and they have to complete the challenges while on the live. And then I came up with a music game that we did on the live as well. So I was always thinking of things because during these times as well, I know people look on entertainers for entertainment. You know, you can't watch us live. We not have no shows going on. They look to us. At the same time, we as entertainers are people as well, so we need something as well. So sometimes it was a struggle to get up every day and not knowing what's happening the next day, not but trying to still as a public figure, a comedian, keep people entertained. So it was difficult. It definitely was.
So I'm not gonna give it away too much, but in the show you kind of talk about how you had these plans to go on tour earlier, but then COVID hit. So now that COVID kind of take a backseat, and you're here touring across the U.S. and Canada. Tell me about how that came about and what that experience has been like for you so far.
Yes, so yes, definitely had plans to be touring America much sooner than I am now. However, everything happened for a reason and not never happened before time regardless. So, it's just like I just give thanks that it's happening now. I mean how it came about was people have followed me for years on social media and all the different platforms. And every time I'm doing shows, like they're always saying, yo, why you not come do a show here? So why you not come do a show here? So like me have a private plane park up in my backyard, like me can just jump in it and say, yeah man, yes, so me a forward. You think I joke? Hey, actually, understand, people them not easy, Me I go tell you something before me answer your question properly. Me I do a show at Queens, me I do a show at Brooklyn, and me I do a show at Manhattan. Me even have 2 shows over New Jersey, and me even have a show upstate New York, Poughkeepsie. So that's about 6 shows in
Why
that
you never
surrounding
do
area.
Bronx? Why you never do this?
A woman said to me, say, yo, why me not do a show at Bronx? Me I say, what? The woman said, oh, if it was in Bronx, I would come. Me I say, what? Me I do how much other show and you can't make it, but and when me check it she said 30 minutes from her house is the Brook one of the show. Me can't remember which one. And me say, really 30 minutes? You know, far me I travel from? Me dey on a plane for all 8 hour travel, you know? And you can make a 30-minute drive to come see me. Yeah, you know rate me like that, man. Me bex. Me tell you man say, yo, give me a yard. Give me a yard, me come do a show inside of your house and make sure you can hold about 200 people and sell it out so we can ram up in there and your yard. Now your yard we are anyway, I saw them stay. But anyway, how it came about is, you know, doing the shows, people that say, yo, come on the show, come do a show here, come do a show. And then Canada, I've always been touring Canada since my career started. I've been touring Canada every time I do a tour, Canada and England's always the ones. But then it's like, I say, yo, we need to do America now, man. I'm tired. I always tell the people them, yo, I'm soon forward. Every year when we do a tour, I tell them, yeah, man, I'm soon forward. Them all say, yo, Yardie, you lie, you're not forward. So we had to make it happen. And yeah, that's how it came about. We just say, you know what, let's do it. Let's go and make this happen. So yeah.
So how has it been so far? So you're kind of like in the middle of it now.
Yeah, we just completed 16 shows. Amazing. I'm truly it's very overwhelming as well in a good way, because you know, like, not going to some of these places before and going there for the first time and managing to sell out a couple of these shows. Like, out of the 16 shows, I sold out 11, and it was like, wow, that's amazing, you know what I mean? And it just means that there's a lot of support there, and I appreciate it, especially the people that come up and speak to me afterwards after each show. And I know we can conversate for even a 5 minute. I really appreciate the feedback they give me and things like that. So yeah, we're halfway through right now. You know, we're getting ready to head off to Florida now and complete some shows down there. We're gonna be going off to Texas as well. And we might even revisit some of the places that we've been already, because I know there's a high demand in, especially in the New York area, there's a high demand for me. Like, there's a lot of people who, funny enough, couldn't make none out of the 3D at them. Maybe because them no one left them house. But yeah, you know, so we have a say I go. Like, one thing with me, you know, like, me try my best, and if enough people make nice for me forward. Like, I me try my best, cause I want people to see what I do on stage and understand that when I'm on stage, it's different to the videos that you see online. You're watching a stand-up comedian perform. You're not watching a guy who makes videos perform. You know what I mean? You see real comedy, and yeah, man.
You have to reach a Bronx. That's all me I say. The lady I gonna come back and say, you know,
We might do
forward
it.
a
We
Bronx.
might
So
do it.
make sure
Listen.
you double back a Bronx.
Yeah, we might have to do that. We might have just add in the Bronx show and make it happen. Cause
No,
yeah, we might have to do it. I can't take no more cussing, yeah, man. I'm tired of it. Next
them
minute
still
you
are
have
gonna go
cuss.
the same way. Even when you come to Bronx, there's gonna be someone who couldn't
Watch,
make it.
them all say on Bronx, oh, you couldn't come on a Sunday. Why you have to do it on a Friday? Don't think a joke. Listen, enough people do them thing that to me. Oh, why it have to start at 6 o'clock? Why it couldn't start at 5? Why it have to this? Why it have to that? You can't please. Me tell you something, you see, people, me learn this. If you spend your life trying to please people, you're gonna be a very unhappy person. Remember me tell you that. Because every day somebody are gonna upset you. Because as soon as you please one person needs, yo, sometimes I put out a flyer. I'm post the flyer. And the flyer will say, White Yardie coming to America tour 2023, March or May to June. And it will say the dates, it will say the place, it will say the time, it will say the ticket. Guarantee somebody finds something to ask me on the flyer. What's the dress code? Clothes. Clothes are the dress clothes. Clothes. Yeah? Put on some clothes and come. That's the dress code. Yo, may I tell you, somebody will ask you, oh, do they sell food at the venue? Somebody will ask me, do they sell food at the venue? Google search and find out. Don't ask me. Go up on your phone and Google search. And me book a venue. Me not sell food. A joke me I sell, not food.
Full your belly before you come.
My God, hey, I treat them even know. Them people, yeah, man, you see. I love them still, no, but God know, man. Some of them.
Yes, you
Oh
have to love
Lord.
our people. At least there's interest and support. Yeah, that's all you can say is that
And
that is
stress.
there.
Them stress me.
Them love stress out your life. Yes, yes,
Oh
but
Lord.
we definitely enjoy it. So, I actually spoke with Negus not too long ago, and he had really amazing things to say, especially him being on tour for the first time. And I think what was so evident in that interview was he was taking soaking it all in. As you know, you talked about um listening to, people that have come before you. He seems to be like really soaking in the entire experience and extremely grateful for the experience that he has been able to grow. So tell me about how you connected with him and had him become an opener. He told me a little bit about you seeing him do
Yeah.
I think hosting, and why that was important for you to tap another creator. And he's coming from a space where he's just doing videos and now
Yeah.
being presented on stage. Like what was that experience like for you to kind of bring in someone a little um newer to the game?
So for me, well, first thing first, throughout my whole career of doing stand up, I've helped many people in the UK as well. I've always I've always felt like people have always come to me and be like, yo, I do comedy. I want to be a stand up, or I want to do stand up and this. And I'm always a person that you can do it, and them say, yeah. I say, all right, cool. Come on a show. Like me can give you me can give you the stage, but me can't give you the joke them. So you go up there and do your thing. You get me? And there's been many people in the UK I've helped and they've gone on and they're doing very well now. But with Negos, I think what it was is we one of our first dates was Atlanta, beginning of April. And when we was going out to Atlanta, I remember we reached out to my manager. I think was speaking to Negos' manager, because what we were doing is just connecting with influencers and creators in different cities while we're there to say, yo, I'm in your city. Like that's again another thing. Like when I'm there, I'm like, yo, who's creating, who's doing videos, who does this? Let's link up, man. Let's do a 1-2 video, because collabing together can help each other as well. You know what I mean? Grow. You understand? So I think Negos' name came up and I was like, yo, ask him if he want host, like open, like host the show or introduce me on stage at Atlanta, because he's from Atlanta. Why not? And I reached out to him. I said, yo, you want to do it? Him said, yeah. So he came and he went and performed. I remember when he went on before me, like, I think what it is with Ningos that I like is he was very confident. You could see he has a lot, he can entertain. He had a lot of energy. He has a lot of belief in himself. But the main thing that stood out for me is that what he was talking about was not the stereotypical stuff I hear from Jamaican influencers when they try to do stand up, which is I thought, don't get me wrong, I used to do it myself when I just start. When I just start, I used to do all the stereotypes. Jamaican mother this, Jamaican mother that. Your Jamaican, and you're on stage listening to somebody just tell you about your Jamaican mother for like 20 minutes. But it's not unique, because what reason why it's not unique is because everybody from Jamaica has a Jamaican mother. So you're not really giving us any think about your personal life. You're only giving us memories of, yo, you remember when your mother used to do this? You remember when your mother used to do that? Jamaica, it's very repetitive. So when he went on stage, I'll be honest, I said to him, I said, not before he went on, I think when he came off, I told him that he surprised me, because I thought I was going to expect to hear the typical stereotypes, jokes that everybody does. Even American comedians do these stereotype jokes. So it's like what he was doing was different. It was all personal to himself. He was just talking about his own self. And I like that, because a lot of my jokes about myself, I like to talk about myself and personal stuff. So when he did that, I was like, yo, he has potential. He just needs to learn how to structure his material or structure jokes together. So when the tour was announced, we originally had somebody to open for me before, but he decided he didn't want to do the tour no more. So I'm like, all right, cool, no worries. I said to my manager, let's get Negos, because I actually wanted Negos. After seeing Negos perform, I was like, yo, I want Negos to open for me because he's different. So when he came on tour, I spoke to him and I said, listen, I explained to him, I said, listen, bro, like, what you gain from this tour is going to be a lot of experience as well. You're going to learn a lot from it. I'm going to be performing every night. I'm in the game 10 years. No, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the greatest, but, bro, I have a lot of experience and I can help you along the way. We did the first show in Virginia Beach. It was okay. We did the second show in Richmond. It was not as good as it was like that. So the next day, before we went to Washington, I said, yo, I called him. I said, yo, where you there? Him said, oh, I'm in my room. I said, yo, forward, come link me. And me and him spoke outside at the car. And before I said, yo, bro, take this, take that, put this here, put that there, move that to here. Instead of you doing that, do this, say that instead of that. And literally transform his whole set together and brought it down to a nice 10 minutes and said, this is what you need to do. And we went to Washington and he went on stage and he did exactly what I asked him to do. I'm gonna say, yo, you see that? He has no ego. He's willing to learn. He could easily say, yo, me a big man, me a do my thing. Cool, but he's willing to learn. And he put together his 10 minutes. We worked on it. And it's a very strong 10 minutes. And now he's adding more and more and more to it. So for me, Negos has a lot of potential. He's definitely talented. And I feel like if he carries on, I think he would do well. And I hope he does well. You know what I mean? I hope he carries on and does extremely well in this game. Yeah.
I love that. And even in the show, you kind of mention, kind of towards the end, like we deserve the stage, right? As Caribbean people, Caribbean nationals across the globe. Um, Talk to me about your intention long term.
Me, like for me, basically, I just want for one day hopefully see a lot more Caribbean comedians or entertainers in general getting opportunities and being on platforms that all the other comedians and entertainers are on. You know, I mean, there's big Netflix, there's big Amazon, there's all these different outlets and platforms that all of the Caribbean people have access to it. We pay our membership. We're watching all the programs they put on there. You go on there and you will see all the other people have representation on there. But when you look for the Caribbean representation, there's none. And people might say, "Oh, I hear this quite," because I brought this conversation up a little while ago, and some people were saying, "Yeah, but you have to look at they said, look at Jamaica as a whole. The population of Jamaica is just over 2 million, 3 million. Like I'm like, that's just in Jamaica, though. That's just in Jamaica. When Jamaicans leave and they multiply around the world, it's more. So Jamaican population outside of Jamaica is probably 2-3 times the amount that's in Jamaica. And I'm saying I'm not even just talking about Jamaica. I'm talking about the Caribbean as a whole. I go Belize and I perform in Belize at least once a year. I go to Belize and perform out there. They love Jamaican culture because the reason why their culture is very similar to Jamaican culture is because Jamaican teachers used to go there and teach schools there. So they know that majority of the Caribbean, actually the whole Caribbean, we are all same. We just might have a little bit of a different accent in one place. We might cook a little bit different where our settings, like them say we say chicken, them say chicken curry, we say curry chicken, you know what I mean? Like, but it's all same thing. So when we're talking about needing representation, we have a big population in the Caribbean. The Caribbean as a whole has no representation on any of these platforms. So for me, it's just keep pushing. And I feel like, as I said, at the show, it's like somebody like Negos, he can come through now, start doing something. If there's another one, and we all can start coming through, then it's like, hold on, all right, there's not just one and two comedians from the Caribbean that's making nice. Hold on, we have quite a few of them now that is actually doing well and making nice. Then maybe these platforms will pay us attention and be like, all right, we need to start focus because there's something going on over here. But at the moment, we don't have that because, as I say, enough noise is not being made.
There's definitely strength in numbers. I talk about it all the time. So I think you're definitely onto something. But in terms of talent and capabilities, I think we already have it. It's just to continue to amplify the voice of you guys and all the work that you're doing. So I appreciate it. One gripe I have with you, right? And a big thing. But in some of you do a lot of reaction videos,
Yeah,
and a lot of them are for some heated fashion statements. I feel like them love draw it out.
yeah,
Them
them.
draw it out to increase them impressions, and we talk about it. But tell me, you do a lot of reaction videos on a whole. But I
Yeah,
think the fashion ones are always interesting because I'm like, every time I get them, I'm like, I know that whichever luxury brand made this idiot thing is probably just talking about us, talking about how much their ratings are going up on social, regardless
of what we say. Yeah,
of what we're saying,
you're
because
right.
all
You're
press
right.
is good press for them. They're just like, so tell me a little bit about like some of the reaction videos. I see you do positive ones, so when someone is, we can't cook, we have a look a nice video, you do that, but you also do the critique of some idiot things happening upon the internet. So tell me about that balance a little bit for you. I just gave you my perspective on the fashion
Yeah,
ones, but
no, no,
tell me
you're
about
right.
how
You're
you
right.
balance the critique videos.
Okay, so the actual reaction videos again, that was like an accident. I'd never intended. I used to do comedy skits before, but then I started to do reaction videos as well, and then I realized that people like my reaction to stuff. So it got to a stage where even now, like I get sent hundreds of videos and pictures daily. I actually stopped looking at them because I get so many, and it's like I always react. I always do it. I've reacted to so many different things. I've reacted to Kim Kardashian one time with her leg and her bumper not making sense. You know what I mean? Cause her leg them skinny and the bumper big. Me I wonder, oh you do this? Oh you work this out. You understand? I did one for Nicki Minaj. I did one for Black China, and her mother take it personal and actually cuss me. You know, Black China mother cuss me out on her social this and that and talk. Me say, yo, just relax, no man. Like, chill out. It's not that big deal. But so I used to do a lot of those like reaction to celebrities. But I think when it really the videos in terms of the fashion one, it was more when Kanye West started to do his designs. That's when me start say, yo, nah man, me have to talk about them something I know. And I just started. I become known to doing them. I was doing the food critic videos as well. And it almost like I become a food critic. Like all of a sudden, people class me as a food critic. Where I go restaurants, I go shops, or if I go to a food shop to buy food, all of a sudden it's like everybody like, I Yardie that. So it's like them I make sure them plate the food nice and give me. I make sure say nobody cost me now on your channel, you know. I mean I say no, but me now cost I sell good food, you know what I mean.
Them
So
not take the chance.
them
Them
not
not take the
no chance.
chance.
It's crazy. I became a proper. It's like people don't feel like I'm a food critic. So when they see me, they deal with me like a food critic, which is crazy. People are give me food, say, yo, you know, if you pay for this man, keep this. This is for you. Just give you a little big up and say, all right, cool. But then also like, yo, at the same time, I realize that my platform, there's a lot of people follow me for different reasons. And people are following me at times for certain things. So I'm like, yo, at the same time, let me big up the people and we can do things properly. So when we see people get creative and cooking Caribbean food with some like the recent one we do was with a breadfruit tacos. I have never seen breadfruit tacos in my life. But this woman make it. She actually reached out to me. She actually reached out to a promoter who bring me to Cayman. She's from Cayman. She said, yo, next time you bring him, make him come forward and try it. I'm like, yo, I'm ready. I want to come try them because it look nice. So yeah, like I also big up good cooking food as well because we have a seasoning company that's from Jamaica as well. It's a authentic Jamaican seasonings owned by Jamaicans, everything. So it's called Jamaica Valley. and all the products are from Jamaica. We ship them over here to the UK. We have them in Canada as well. We're gonna branch out to America real soon, probably before the end of the year, and start. We just gotta get the distribution sorted, and we should be over there. But so we try big up people who use the products as well and showcase the food that they make with the products. So yeah, man, it's a bit of everything.
So you talked a little bit about some of the entrepreneurial work that you're doing outside of comedy. Tell me more about how that got started as well.
So like for me, I look at myself like a brand, you know what I mean? Like I build myself up over the years as a brand. And I feel like one thing with me is that I think I'm a social. If you follow me for a long time, and even if you go back to my page and look through my page, I'm very transparent. I don't sugarcoat anything. If me in a good mood, I may do a video. I may say, all right, I'm in a mood for doing a video or anything. Like if I'm going through things, I share it with people because sometimes it's good to let other people who follow you see, especially when they have you as somebody important or somebody at a higher status in career wise or whatever. They might appreciate little things just to see that, yo, if Yardie I go through that, yo, it shows everybody can. Because some people want to paint a picture perfect everything on social media, like them life is perfect, when in reality it's not. So when you go through hard times, just you know what I mean, like them say, don't celebrate your wins only, like let people see your loses as well. So you know what I mean, so you go through everything as normal human beings. So I build up my brand on being very honest. People are trustworthy as well. Like when I say something, people trust in me. Like I said, like I don't know if it was at the Brooklyn one. I said it at one of the shows where I said, yo, big up to the people them who buy ticket before me even announce a venue. Because I didn't announce a venue, but over 100 I want to buy a ticket already. Whoa, on the easy to scam me. And they were laughing, and I'm like, no. And the funniest thing, they were laughing, and then you see, me I tell you, say no buy a ticket. I say, what you tell her no buy a ticket for? The show happened, you're there at the show. I'm just saying, because trust me on what I say. So because I realize that people actually take my word for it, I have to be very careful with what brands, what companies I work with, and what I'm promoting. I don't promote. I get offers to promote things daily. I get offers to like paid opportunities to promote things. But when I look at what it is, I'm like, I can't put my name to that. And I rather my name, because my name is my brand. So because of that, when I open things, like when I'm doing the seasoning things, when I'm I had a kitchen I had a pop-up kitchen that we run for 6 months, was amazing. People trusting what I'm saying. So whenever I'm working in these things, I know that people believe in it, because I am not going to lie to them. You understand what I mean? If something's not ready and not there, I'm like, yo, this is not make it, people. Sorry, we're going to try again and go again. So there's more there's more things I'm working on. I'm actually in a talk with somebody about possibly doing my own drink line as well. So do some nice drinks, you know what I mean? I obviously look at alcoholic beverages and things like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I work on some things.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on the podcast. Such a great conversation, even funnier on stage and in person.
Thank you.
Love the work that you're doing for yourself, for us, for the community. So thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Any last words?
Yeah, thank you for having me on your podcast. I've enjoyed it. Yeah. You seem like a nice person. And yeah, I enjoy it, man. I'm glad you come at the show and enjoy yourself. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Well, until next time, guys, we are signing off. Later, my peeps. You don't know. You White Yardie, big up yourself.
All right.
Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Style and Vibes podcast. If you like what you hear, and I know you do, share it with your friends and family. If you want more, make sure you visit styleandvibes.com and follow us on our social channels, Twitter and Instagram at Style and Vibes. Until next time, Leah Tommy Peeps.